Hello everybody, and welcome back to Mind and Muscle May, the finale. So, let me answer the burning question right away. Where is week 3? And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I do not have a week 3 video for you because this challenge and just my life in general has just been so exhausting recently with the amount of stuff that I've been doing that I've just had no energy to keep recording clips. And I felt like if I did record during those times, it just wouldn't even be a good video anyway. So I just did not want to put out a bad video for you guys. And even just making this video right now, it's pretty hard for me because I just don't think that the video is that good because I don't have the clips from earlier, which I didn't think would be good anyway. So I only want to put out the best videos, the best that I can do. So I'm trying to make this the best that I can do, but it's just been really hard. Let me talk you guys through what happened between week 3 all the way down to the 31st of May, aka the end of the challenge. Let me highlight a few days that were pretty big in terms of big things that I did. However, every day I was doing like little small things everywhere here and there that all accumulated to my, I guess, burnt outness, if that's a word. But my feeling of burnt out in recording videos. The first big trip I went on was the 17th of May, which was my San Francisco trip with Brody for both photography and just hanging out. So we went there and had a really great time going around the city, taking photos of both me taking photos of him taking photos of me. And it was just a vibe. We were just going around having fun, exploring the place, and we had a really great time. But it was a whole, almost an entire day long trip, and I was so exhausted from it. I would do it again. It was really fun, but I need recovery time. And that is partly why I obviously wasn't recording, because of the recovery time. So if you want to watch that video, if it sounds interesting to you, photography and a vlog in San Francisco, go watch that. It's on my channel already. So the next day is the 19th, and that was a big painting day. So my brother and I, we were tasked by my parents to paint our dining room. We painted it the same color it was before, just fixed up some holes and just gave it a whole fresh coat of paint to get rid of some scuff marks and stains that were on the walls. And honestly, it does look really, really great. However, again, that was several hours through the day, and because it's summer, it's hot, like it's hot right now in the suit. And again, it just totally led to me feeling burnt out. So now on to the 20th and the 21st. Now these days I have been super looking forward to over the past few months because it's my motorcycle training days. Now I spent a good amount of money to get this motorcycle training to be able to allow me to get my license because I'm still under 21, so I have to do the training in California. I was so looking forward to it, and it was really fun. I had to get up at 6 to get ready and get over to Lathrop at 7, and then from there the class started at 7 and went all the way till about 5. Just a few like 15-minute breaks and then like a 45-minute lunch break. I was just busy, and then it was super informative. So half the time we were in the classroom studying and learning about road safety and just motorcycles in general. And then the other half of the time we were out on the range behind the wheel riding around. It was just so exhausting over the course of the 2 days, especially out in the heat, and then just all the knowledge, trying to absorb it all. I did pass, which, let's get a round of applause. Thank you. But the class started with 12 people and only 6 ended up passing. Luckily, not really luck, skill, but I was one of the 6 that passed. And yeah, I was super happy about that. And I am planning on going to the DMV and taking the test later this week. Next day is the 24th, and this was a Saturday. And my family went with my girlfriend and her mom's family kayaking. And we had a really fun time out on the water. It wasn't too hot yet. However, it still got hot later in the day. But we went kayaking, a picnic, we played volleyball, and it was all super fun again. Like all this stuff has been. It's just it all led to me feeling more and more tired because I wasn't really catching a break. And even on some days that I was free, I still just stayed up late playing games and stuff, trying to enjoy my summer. And then on the 27th was camping. I went camping with my brother Kyle and his friend Mark. That video is also up on the channel. I really recommend going and watching that. I'm really proud of that video. I like it a lot, so go watch that. It was a vibe. We had a lot of fun out there, camping at Carnegie, riding dirt bikes, cooking s'mores and whatnot. Yeah, that was from Tuesday night to Wednesday at about noon. We left a bit after noon. If you ride dirt bikes and just camping in general, it's so tiring. And especially the only camping one night, it's the worst night of sleep. Just awful for me. And then on the 31st, which was yesterday, I went kayaking again, this time with just my family, besides for my dad, because my mom didn't get to go last time, so she went with us this time. And again, we had a lot of fun out on the water, but it was hotter this time, and from all that rowing and then the heat from the sun, it just led to more exhaustion. And then also towards the later dates, I felt like I haven't been recording this whole time, so why start recording now? Because I don't have the footage from before. So that all led me to being super tired, super burnt out, and that's why I didn't record any clips. However, I still did the challenge. Don't worry, I didn't fail. We passed. So let's get into each of the rules that I set for myself and talk about how I recommend them, if I'm going to continue them, what I think about them, what they did to me, and all sorts of stuff about them. So let's get into that right now. Rule number 1 was a 45-minute session of cardio and a 45-minute session of weight training every single day. So right off the bat, I think it was overkill. I do think it is good to go to the gym and to work out and to do cardio. However, I think just 7 days a week, every single week, is just a bit too much. Before the challenge, I would be doing a 45-minute to an hour workout session every single weekday, so Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, and then I'd have Saturday and Sunday off. I think that was a really good split for me in my life, and it gave me time to rest and to recover, as well as time to not go to the gym at certain hours when I could be doing other things more important. But for the challenge, I had to go to the gym, especially on the weekends when the gym schedule is a bit different. So for the cardio session, I think that was a lot overkill for me personally. I do have a good cardiovascular system. I used to run, and I'm still pretty good at it. So I think the 45-minute each day was pretty overkill for that. I think that in the future, I will keep doing my weight training 5 days a week. And for the cardio, probably bring it down to 2 to 3 times a week. Just because I think every single day was way too overkill. I think 5 days a week for me is still overkill. For some, it might be perfect. That's just what I'm going to be doing in the future moving forward. I would rate that probably a 4 out of 10, just because it wasn't bad, but it totally helped with all the other stuff that I was doing, keeping me busy. Totally helped, leading to me feeling burnt out and not wanting to do it anymore. Moving on to rule number 2, it's the diet. Eating 3,000 calories every single day. Honestly, I really like this. Definitely going to be keeping this as I move forward, and I might even up the calorie amount to try to up my weight gain, because I am still wanting to bulk for the gym, and 3,000 calories was a calorie surplus. However, my weight is still slowly moving up, really slowly. So I think I'm going to try to boost up the calories, try to get a little bit more in. This was also a little bit tricky for some days, mainly because of how busy I was. Sometimes I didn't really get time to eat, and then I'd be up at 11 o'clock at night and be like, oh, I need to get my calories in, and then just having to scarf down tons of food, totally pig out till I get up to my 3,000 calories, which that wasn't really fun. However, I'm definitely going to be keeping this for the future. I would rate that probably an 8, 9 out of 10. Rule number 3 is stretching. Now this I almost forgot about for most days. It was hard to remember to do just because, especially in the beginning, it was so outside of my normal schedule. A lot of the times I would just do this before I went to the gym or before I worked out, stretching up my arms, my legs, and really my whole body, because 15 minutes is plenty of time to do plenty of stretching. So I'd pretty much stretch out my whole body each day. I probably gained a little bit of flexibility, but it's still going to take a lot of time to get up to being really flexible. However, I don't think I'm going to be keeping this in my day-to-day life. I think that I should still stretch the body part that I'm going to be working out in the gym, especially legs, because my legs, they need stretching if I'm working out. 15 minutes a day was way overkill for one specific muscle group each day. So I'll probably shorten it down to 5 minutes, and that's only 5 days a week before my workouts. I would rate that probably a 5 out of 10 because it wasn't bad, but it was just hard to remember to do. Rule number 4 was reading for 30 minutes every day. So this, I think, helped me succeed in the motorcycle training because of the previous days leading up to that. I've been both reading the handbook and then also the course material that they gave us. That really helped me go over it and already have it in my brain before they reteach it to me. So I think that was really, really good for the time. And I have been keeping reading this after the class up to the end of this point. And I'm still reading it to try to get every little bit of information I can into my head and ready for the DMB test. However, after that, I don't think I'm going to be keeping reading 30 minutes each day as part of my daily routine. I'll probably end up doing it for college, but it probably won't be every single day. I would rate the rule number 4 probably as a 8 out of 10 because some days it did almost put me to sleep. However, it did lead to me being successful in certain areas. So I do think it was good, but that's mainly because I had a reason to read. Getting into rule 5, we have cold showers. Now, cold showers was one thing that I was pretty looking forward to going into the challenge, looking forward to starting that back up in my life and seeing it work. And for the most part, it was pretty good, especially as the temperature kept increasing as we're getting closer and closer to summer. So it was getting nicer and nicer to do the cold showers. However, there were some days that I really, really had to push myself to just be in the shower because especially for the days like the San Francisco trip and the motorcycle training where I'm getting up at like 6 in the morning, I don't want to take a cold shower at 6 in the morning right when I get up. I just don't. So it was a struggle. I don't think I'm going to be keeping it in my schedule anymore. I'll probably be taking cool showers because it is getting into summer. However, cold showers every single day is probably not going to happen. And that's okay. I think it did lead to some mental resilience because being like, oh yeah, I accomplished that. I could do it. It was hard. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. So what else can I accomplish throughout the day? So I do think it helped with that However, I don't think it's fully necessary to do every single day. I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. Because for the most part, it was pretty good, pretty easy to do. It's just there were those days that I really didn't feel like doing it. But those are the days that really make or break your mental perseverance. And finally, rule number 6, talk to somebody new every single day. Now, for the most part, this was pretty easy as I was really busy going out to a lot of places. So a lot of the times I ended up talking to cashiers, employees, just in general at different places. There were a few times where I talked to just a random stranger out on the street, like in the San Francisco one, taking the photo for the people, and just a few other times throughout the challenge. I think that was a bit overkill to talk to somebody new every single day. I don't think I'll be continuing that. I do think it is good to talk to new people, just to build up not only confidence, but just to sometimes just make people's day. Especially, you never know, they could be lonely going through stuff. Sometimes just seeing a smile and a little, hey, good morning, a little conversation, it can make people's day. So in the future, I think I will keep talking to strangers, just not forcing myself to do it every single day. Just if the opportunity comes up, I'll probably take it. I would give rule number 6 probably a 9 out of 10. I only had good experiences with it. There were a few times where I really, had to dig deep to push myself to talk to somebody, but I think that was really good in terms of building up my confidence in talking to random people, and also just building up my confidence to just be talking to a camera. Unfortunately, that'll be it for the Mind and Muscle May. Thank you guys so much for watching, so much for the support. Go back and watch the other videos if you haven't already. Check out the San Francisco trip and the camping trip. They're really fun to make. I definitely have so much more respect to the people who do 30-day challenges like this, or harder ones than this, because now doing this, I know what goes into them and how much they really have to just turn it on for the camera. And I'm still building up that skill, so maybe in the future I'll be doing more challenges like this, maybe a little different. Thank you guys so much for watching. That is it for the whole month of May.